All right. Hello, everyone. This is Maryellen here. I am out at my family farm for the holidays. We raise sheep at the farm. And part of raising sheep that not everyone knows about is we rely on dogs quite a lot. And so you can see here, hi girly, yes, I wanted to introduce you to 4 of our shepherding dogs here at the farm. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them in. I'll try and answer them as best I can. But yeah, so we have 4 of these big white dogs. They're Pyrenees Marama crosses. P, stop doing, don't chew. This is Penelope here, who is just giving herself a bit of a scratch. Hey, Beanie baby. This is Bean. Hi. Say hello, Bean. This is Connor, very regal sitting there. Good boy, Connor. And we also have Snow Queen, who I think is sleeping on this side of the bale. Snowy girl? There you are. Oh, my beautiful Snowy. So these 4 dogs actually, Snow and Connor, had Penelope and P as part of a litter. So they were born and raised right here on the farm. Yes, Bean, I know. Bean here is really wanting my attention. They've been snoozing out here with the sheep. There is a sheep, just for reference. And they've been sleeping out here in the straws. It's a little chilly today, so they're staying nice and cozy and warm. So this is Snow here and Connor. They had these 2 pups, along with, I believe it was 4 others. I think we had 6 in that litter. And so we ended up keeping 2 of the girls. And we kept those girls because they were doing really well. They were integrating really well into the farm, and they knew what their job was. And by job, I mean these dogs live out with the sheep 24/7. They are out with the sheep. They sleep with them, as you can kind of see. Hi, buddy. Little sheep action, just for fun. They live out with the sheep, sleep out with the sheep, generally speaking, and we feed them out with the sheep as well. As I said, just to reiterate, they're Pyrenees Marama cross dogs. If you know some of the therapy dogs that are with our program, you'll know that we have a couple Pyrenees who are part of the program as well. So when you see big fluffy ones, Pyrenees are a good guess. The Maramas are a little bit different. Here, we'll look at Connor's on our left here. Connor is more of the Marama. He has a very round head and a very slick short coat, and that makes him a little bit sleeker. He definitely is finer boned than the other dogs, whereas here we have Bean. She has a lot more of the Pyrenees qualities. You can see her face is a little bit more angular, her fur is a little bit more fuzzy. She's a little bit more marshmallowy than Connor is. And that's just kind of the difference, but they're crosses, so they get a little bit of both of those qualities. Hey, Connor boy. Yeah, and you can see the sheep have come to join us here for a bit of an afternoon snack while the dogs are hanging out. So we have the 4 Pyrenees Marama white guardian dogs is what we call them. And currently at the farm, we also have 2 herding dogs. So a little bit later, if we can get Thomas, the herding dog, out here, he'll maybe move some sheep around for you as well. In order to be guardian dogs, what they need to really be doing is they need to be able to have a good relationship with the sheep. As you can tell, dogs are not afraid of sheep. The sheep are not afraid of these dogs. They all get along really well. And that our dogs too are willing to, be a little bit aggressive when it comes to any predators that might be infringing on the sheep. So around here, the biggest things is coyotes. We have a problem with, especially in the spring, them coming in and wanting to grab some lambs for lunch. So these dogs have a really strong territory around our farm, and will watch out for coyotes and make sure that they stay out and aren't getting too close to any of the sheep. So that's kind of their main job. Secondary to that, they also stop anyone who is coming onto our property who are not coyotes. They are very aware of any vehicles that come onto our property, anyone who's skidooing in the ditch, or is even biking on our roadway. They let us know. So a big part of their job is also to just kind of keep an eye out for what's going on and make sure that everyone is safe on the farm. You can see right now we have a car coming down the road. We had a couple heads pop up, look to see that car, realize it's not too close. It's going to zoom right past us. And then they're going to probably not have much of an issue. Oh, that was the door to the house opening. You can see we had all the heads pop up again. What was that noise? They'll realize that it's just mom coming out. So they'll probably calm down, or they'll go to her for some love. That's the other part of it too. With our dogs, we also feed them daily. That's something that people often ask. We have 6 dogs on the farm right now. How the heck do we feed them? And anyone who has a Pyrenees or other large breed dog knows that they eat a fair amount. So, with our dogs, we feed them 50% commercial. So just like dog food that you can buy at the store, and we also make our own dog food here on the farm, and a lot of that's mostly because we have access to some really tasty ingredients for them because we're on the farm. So their food also includes lots of things like livers and hearts from sheep who have gone to the butcher, or other animals that have been here, and that really adds to their diet. You gonna go see Mom, Connor? Okay. So that's a big part of us feeding them. They get a fair amount of food each day, and that also changes during the weather. So the amount of work that they're doing or how cold it is outside will influence how much they get fed in a day, just to make sure that they're getting the caloric intake that they need. No, you're good. Don't worry. We are live though, just so you know. So here's Mom. She's walking there with Connor with the sheep in here. So you can see the dogs know her really, really well. So they aren't too worried about her coming into the pen with the sheep. Same with myself. They were okay with us coming in and being close to the sheep. And they are big teddy bears, so they want some pets. That's Connor that Mom's petting right now. He is 5 years old. We were talking. And he's dad to Penelope and Bean. What's Connor like on the farm, Mom?
He's very protective. He is always listening for coyotes, and him and the girls are always patrolling the area. The girls tend to stay more with the sheep, and you can pan over there.
Yeah, with the sheep.
Yeah, the girls stay more with the sheep, where Connor, if he hears a coyote, he'll take off, and he will call the girls to come and help him if there is problems. And you can see he's got some battle scars, and that is from neighbor dogs trying to get in with our sheep, and he fought off the neighbor dogs. So he has a few battle scars, because the worst thing besides coyotes is other people's dogs attacking the sheep.
Exactly. Hello, sheep. Hi. What about the puppies? Anything else to add about them?
We had a litter of puppies, 7, and
7.
I kept 2 girls, and we find that the females tend to stay with the sheep more than the males. So it's good to have females stay with the sheep, where the males seem to go out further and protect from a distance. And also the girls, again, They stick closer to home than the males do, and usually they're a little bit more gentler with lambs.
Yeah, that's one thing that can sometimes be a bit of an issue is when the lambs are born. Sometimes, especially the dogs when they're teenagers, think that they're another thing to play with. But we find that the girls are a little bit more gentle. Hey, Snowy girl. This is Snowball. Snow, so she's mom for the two pups. She's 6 years old. She has somehow the saddest eyes, even though she's doing perfectly fine, aren't you? Having a little nap? Yeah. I haven't seen any questions in the chat, but if anyone has any questions, just let us know. We'll try and answer them the best we can. For those of you who are just joining us, again, we're just looking at our Pyrenees Marama big white guardian dogs here on the sheep farm.
We always like to keep at least 3, more like 4 dogs, because often there's times where we have to split the flock in half at weaning time. The ewes go into one field and the lambs go into another field. So on their own, the dogs decide who's going to stay with the ewes and who's going to stay with the lambs. And it's all instinct. You can't train them to do these things. It's instinct, and either they've got it or they don't. So, and you want them to love the sheep that they're taking care of, and you want them to be able to, just like this, how, you know, the sheep come up to the dogs and they're all like
Connor.
They're all family, and they take care of each other like a family.
Exactly. Oh, I don't think you're gonna find much to eat in there, buddy. And one thing I was wanting to say too is right now the sheep are pretty close to the house, so the dogs aren't too stressed out. They aren't doing as much patrolling during the day, but in the summer usually they get quite far from the house. How far do you think the sheep go?
Oh, about a half a mile.
So about a half a mile. I don't know what that is in kilometers. But they go a fair ways from the house. So with that, there's an increased risk just because there isn't as much human activity. So that's when the dogs are really, really working hard, especially, as Mom said, when they're in multiple fields, the sheep. So they really have to watch out then. Also in the springtime, that's when coyotes have their pups. And that's a time where they're looking for more food. So these dogs are really, really busy during that time, keeping the sheep safe.
And in September, they also, it's very busy then because the coyotes are teaching their young how to hunt and kill. So it's very important to have your guardian dogs available to take care of your sheep, because the adults will bring their pups in, and they won't even eat the animals. They'll just come in and kill. They could kill, you know, up to half a dozen in one night, just teaching their young how it's done. And so these dogs are worth their weight in gold, because they're working 24/7, and yeah, we couldn't be in the business without them.
Mm-hmm. So we wanted to bring them on to Pause Your Stress Live here, just to give people an idea of one of the many jobs that dogs can have, and traditionally have had, the Pyrenees and the Maramas.
Mm-hmm. There are other breeds of guardian dogs, but for us on our farm, we originally started with Pyrenees on our smaller farm, and then when we moved to our quarter section, we needed dogs that could go up and down hills and over fences, and where the Pyrenees is very big, heavier dog, and we found that was just too hard on them running up and down the hills and over the fences, where the Maramas are a more agile dog and not as heavy, and their hips and the whole body structure can handle the rougher terrain than what the Pyrenees could.
And they seem to last a little bit longer, right? Like the Pyrenees usually have hip problems younger.
Yeah.
We were finding, so.
And they also work different. The Pyrenees, what they do, they patrol all night long. But then when it comes 7 o'clock in the morning, they're totally exhausted and they're falling asleep. And the coyotes could sneak in. Where if with the Marama, they're right with the sheep day and night. So they're watching continually.
Hey, Snow. Oh, hi. Oh, it's okay. Didn't mean to scare you. What are some of the other breeds of dogs that are used for guardian dogs?
Okay, so there's all the Kuvas. They were also one of the earlier ones. And there's another breed I can't pronounce. Planchardtes or something like that. Anyway, and they're very good against cougars and bears because they're a huge dog. These guys, they're usually around 45 kilos in weight. The males and the females about 40 kilos. And where the Planchardtes, they're more like 60 kilos or bigger. Like they've been bred for definitely taking on bigger, tougher predators.
Any other questions? I can't think of anything. Anything else that you think people should know about guardian dogs?
I guess, especially these breeds, they really need open space. They're not very good. They're not suited for living in town unless they're getting a lot of exercise. They love their, like a quarter section that's 160 some acres, and that's about right for these guys. And you start getting a smaller land amount, and they'll start going on to the neighbor's place, and they have to have livestock to take care of. If they don't, they'll go looking for it. So they could end up in your neighbor's place looking after their cows or calves, just because they're born to work. They're born to guard, and they need that.
Yeah, that sounds good. We know that they can definitely... Are the Maramas more aloof than Pyrenees? Well, that's a good question.
Okay. What we find is, especially when Maryellen was small, and
hey, Rami.
we used to have lots of kids coming to visit. We found that the Pyrenees were they were friendlier to people and children, and even though they were a huge dog, they were gentle, and they had a milder manner, where we found that the Marama is a little more independent. Some of them are not near as friendly with people, and so for when you had small children around, we like the Pyrenees, and but for staying with the sheep and moving with the sheep, being more independent, we like the Marama. Snow is half Pyrenees, half Marama, so she has both the characteristics, and where Dad, Connor, is pure Marama.
Oh, he is pure, okay.
The pups are then 3/4 Marama.
My battery is about to die here. Just gonna say a bit of a sign off. Here's some sheep. A white sheep and a black sheep. Stitch is the black sheep. I don't know. Does the white one have a name?
Let's see. Who is he? I think that's Heath.
Heath.
As in Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Okay. So we have some rather large woolly dogs just to round out today. If you have any other questions, I'll try and answer them as best I can. Oh, thanks for a quick last question. We don't have the Kuvas, but we do know of some people who use them. For us, we go with a bit of the smaller breeds. The Kuvas were the bigger ones.
They're also, again, temperament-wise, they're very, very strong guardian dogs. And if a stranger does come onto your place, if you have a Kuvas, they won't be on the property very long. People coming to visit. So we found temperament for them is they're very, very strong guardians.
Okay, good to know. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Feel free to leave any other questions. I'll come back. And we'll talk to you all later. Hope you're all having a good winter break. Goodbye.